Did all of this happen at birth? He was removed at birth?
Yeah, he was detained 2 days afterwards.
I am Cynthia Becker, and I'm here with attorney Vince Davis on The Secret, How to Fight Child Protective Services and Win. We are going to take another call from, and I apologize in advance, I believe it is Hira in California. Did I pronounce it right?
Hello?
Hi.
Hi. I was calling because my son got taken from the hospital when he was born. And basically the hospital was saying I medically neglected him, me and the baby's father. They said that the baby's father was being violent and that, so they called CPS because we wanted to get him transferred to get a second opinion. The other hospital had no problem with it as long as it wasn't life-threatening, he wasn't on oxygen. Well, the doctor refused and instead called CPS. And CPS made it seem like the father was controlling me and that he had all the say in it. And really, we were just co-parents trying to do what was best for our son to protect him because they were treating him for things that he had no symptoms of. And so we wanted to get a second opinion. And because of that, CPS said that I was refusing to give him formula and that the hospital, they were giving him an IV. They were putting a tube down his throat saying that it wasn't even a feeding tube at first. And then when CPS got involved, they said it was a feeding tube. Well, they never tried to feed him. They gave him the wrong fluids for the IV. And so because of that, we wanted to get him transferred and all the other stuff. And then they said that he had marijuana in his stool. Well, I had no marijuana. I never smoked with him. And he had no marijuana at the very first test in his urine. And, well, after that, when CPS got involved, I went through 3 different social workers. Now I'm on the 4th one. And the first one, he was retiring. So for the first 5 months, I couldn't get a hold of him, couldn't get a hold of the supervisor. And because of the pandemic, I couldn't, do nothing about it. Nobody would help me out. Nobody would tell me all this stuff. And so I could only do the video calls with my son. And he was like a newborn. I only got to see him when he was in July. And after that, I got a new social worker. The social worker kept using everything against me and saying that, oh, it's okay to do this, it's okay to do that, and when it really wasn't. And then I got a new social worker.
Can I ask you, did all of this happen at birth? He was removed at birth?
Yeah, he was detained 2 days afterwards.
Okay, and the allegations were that you guys were neglectful?
Yeah.
So all of this happened while you guys were still in the hospital?
Yes.
That's Vince, is it that odd to say that they're neglectful while they're in the hospital?
Yeah, it's odd because how can you neglect a child, that hasn't been born yet, or after the child's born, and still in the hospital? It's the medical staff that is taking care of the child, not really the parent. But ma'am, if I were you, I would Google a book, and there's also an accompanying website. The book was written by a former DCFS social worker, former CPS social worker, and the name of the book is called Medical Kidnap. And what happens sometimes, from what I'm told, is that doctors or medical professionals might make allegations of child abuse that aren't true to cover up some type of medical malpractice or negligence on the part of the medical staff. And I've heard this, I've been doing this a long time, and I've heard it many times. And the story that you're telling me just makes me think that maybe something like that is going on. And I've heard of one hospital or one doctor referring a case to CPS when the parents want to go to another hospital. They take like personal offense to it. I don't know if it's a loss of,
I've heard that as well.
I don't know if it's the loss of business or the loss of reputation or whatever. But I would suggest that you get that book, or at least look at it online, Medical Kidnap. And I forget the guy's name. He passed away, but he was a former, CPS social worker for many years.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I will do that.
Did you have any? Did you have any other specific question for us?
Yeah, my rights got terminated. The parent's father is no longer in the picture, so they can't use that against me because they said that he was controlling me. And they still terminated my rights. I've been jumping through the hoops, doing everything that I have to do. And my attorney that I have now, he's not going to file the appeal. He says that I have to turn everything in and do everything. Well, the only thing that I have left to do is my drug class, and I already basically completed it. I completed phase 1, and my drug counselor said that...
Here, hold on. There's a problem. There's a big problem here. If your rights have been terminated, anything that you do is probably not going to help you in terms of getting the child back. If your rights have been terminated, you need to file the notice of appeal so you can get a court-appointed appellate attorney to help you.
Yeah, I did that. She wouldn't file the appeal.
She wouldn't file the appeal?
No.
Did she give you a reason?
She said because I couldn't turn everything in. I have everything done. They said that I could even get a certificate that says I completed phase 1, and I will willingly still voluntarily complete phase 2.
Okay, here.
But that wasn't good enough.
Yeah, so you doing services now after your rights have been terminated is not going to help you get anything. Okay?
Okay.
So now, when were your rights terminated? Are you sure it was your rights or your reunification services?
My rights.
When were they terminated?
It was February 24th.
So you had 60 days to file a notice of appeal. Did you timely file the notice of appeal?
Yeah, I filed the notice of appeal.
Okay. And now you have a court-appointed appellate attorney, so he or she should be filing the brief for you to try to win your appeal.
Right, but my lawyer they won't help me do anything. I went to your website, and they gave me another dude. He called me, but he said that I have 50 days to file the appeal. So, and it was really 60 days, so I don't really know what to do. Like, should I, get a new attorney, or should I just file the appeal myself, or...
Well, I doubt that you can file the appeal yourself, but the guy that told you 50 days, he might have told you that because he, didn't want it to wait till the last minute. But what I would do is try to talk to him, either on the phone or in person, and try to find out what's going on. Because I can tell from talking to you, unfortunately you're lost and nothing has been explained to you.
Right, they keep throwing everything at me and saying that I still have to do this and do that, and I already did it. And
when you say they,
who
are you referring to?
CPS.
Well, unless you have other children, that's not true. You've lost your rights. It doesn't matter what you do from here on out.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. So sit down with that attorney, either on the phone or in person, and try to find out what's going on in your case. I haven't reviewed anything in your case. I haven't seen any documents, minute orders, reports from the social worker, nothing like that. So you need to talk to someone who has reviewed your case and get an explanation of what's going on.
Okay.
All right? 1 minute.
Before she goes, I did pull up that book, Medical Kidnapping, A Threat to Every Family in America by Brian Shilhavy, I believe it's.
No, that's not the book I was talking about. The book.
Oh,
The
okay.
guy's
That's
name
the
was
one
like
that comes up.
his guy's name was like Jerry Dominguez, I think. And
Okay.
it's called Medical Kidnap, not kidnapping. Medical Kidnap.
Yeah, that's the only one that comes up on Google and Amazon.
Well, during the break, I'll look it up, and see if I can find it. But we're going to take a break right now here. Thank you for calling. Thank you for listening. Call us back in a few weeks. Give us an update. And this is The Secret, How to Fight Child Protective Services and Win. We'll be back after these messages.